Yo, what's up guys? Welcome back to the channel. It has happened. We all knew it would happen, but the official launch or announce of Burning Crusade Classic has happened today with BlizzCon, or yesterday as this video goes out. So today I want to talk about pretty much everything we know so far about Classic TBC and also pose some of the questions that are really important for moving forward with Classic TBC. Now, the first thing that's going to come to mind for most people was the thought process of like, will Alliance get Paladins with Seal of Blood? And yes, they do. They pretty much do get Seal of Blood. It's like something with a different name, but it's the exact same thing. How much does this change the class imbalance we are expecting to see in TBC? And in all honesty, from talking to a lot of the players in TBC and some of the top guilds in TBC today after the announce, and from our own research, it still looks like just horde ratios are so strong in PvE that we're probably still going to be seeing a class imbalance. Another thing I want to mention is really fast, before you do anything, guys, everyone should click the link in the description. I've already done it, but in this link, it will give you a chance to, or a button just to click to opt in to the actual beta for Classic TBC. They did not give us a date for it, so we still don't know exactly when TBC will launch. Casual Blizzard coming soon, TM. But at least the beta should be very soon is what they were saying. And it seems like an open beta, so more people can get into it so that you can start playing very soon. I know Endless is also launching a brand new fresh server with 7 times XP gain, launching on the 28th, I believe. Okay, so what are the other important takeaways from this? Obviously, we wanted to know how they were going to be doing these servers. We do know now that there will be progression realms where your character can move on into TBC, and then there's going to be classic era realms where you basically could play classic for forever. You can make a character copy, so you can do both of these, but once you move over to the TBC realms, your character can never move back, right? And also, I guess once you've chosen the classic era realms, pretty much the same thing, but you can just make a character copy if you want to still play classic. The hard thing here is that classic realms will most likely be pretty much dead because they are not fresh classic realms, so you're not going to see people starting over from fresh, at least not yet, and they haven't said anything about this yet. So these classic era realms, it'll be interesting to see if some guilds opt to continue progression through Nax, because there are some guilds still progressing through Nax, but if not, really, probably almost everyone is basically just moving on to classic Burning Crusade. Also, with this whole leveling thing, they did announce character boosts, so we will be able to character boost one character per classic World of Warcraft account, or per World of Warcraft account. So you will have the opportunity to boost one character to level 58. This means you can get into Outlands, because Outlands is open at 58. So you can go straight into Outlands. There's a few questions that they did. Here's the join the beta. If you scroll down here, a few questions that they talked about. Do you need to purchase Burning Crusade Classic? Of course you don't. It just has any of your WoW accounts. Blood Elves and Draenei will be launched with the pre-patch, so you don't have to worry about that. You can level your Paladins, although I would suggest leveling up whatever character you're going to main if you haven't already. Start doing your boosts now, because we all know that with the pre-patch there is a AoE cap, or your AoE abilities become weaker past a certain point, and eventually boosts will be like really for Paladins. That's actually one of the reasons why, if on your server you can find a Skull Flame shield right now for pretty cheap, buy it. But on almost all servers I've seen, I've checked quite a few, it's either 1,000 to 3,000 plus gold already after the announce. So Skull Flame shield will be something really nice to grab if you can grab it. Next is going to be, can you boost your Draenei or your Blood Elf? And that will be one thing you cannot boost, mainly your Paladin, so just know about that. But you will have a character boost, level 57 character boost service closer to the launch. And then currently they have not announced any plans for transfers. Like realm transfers are still a thing, but they haven't announced anything for like faction changes, so know about that. You can transfer your character obviously to the progression realms, or you can keep your character there. Moving on to the blue post, which has a lot more information, which is super, super useful. Today they were talking about how we are kind of finally getting into hashtag some changes. And with that, it means like the paladins, but also some changes with bosses. So they're going to keep some boss values to keep bosses harder. But there's an example like here for Maru, one of the last bosses in the game. There was an early version of this boss where spell pushback basically made it you couldn't really play any casters. So like Hunter's King, right? You couldn't really play any casters on this fight. So they're taking away the spell pushback, but they're including the pre-nerf versions of bosses and like, so pre-nerf version of health. It's not exactly given exactly like, or they haven't said what this means for every single boss, but it's looking more like the 2.4.3, which is what most people predicted. But also with bosses having higher HP values, which does mean that warlocks can excel more as mages can struggle with early on with mana issues, but warlocks can seem to excel. So we'll get into raid comps and stuff in another video as we talk with some more of the top guilds in current TBC metas, right? Another thing that's changing is for PvP, for arenas. This is actually pretty massive. For arenas, you used to only be able to have 2 people up for or signed up to a arena team that was a 2v2, 3 people for a 3v3, and so on and so forth. So if you were missing people, you couldn't run those arenas on your arena teams. So now it is more people. You can have double the amount on your arena teams. That was something that was added. And then you need to, I think they announced it was 30% of, like, you just need to participate in 30% of the games to get full value from the arena team. So that's actually amazing, guys. And then the last thing I really want to talk about is the content phases. This is huge. The one that I'm not super stoked about personally is that phase 1 does not have Arena Season 1. So your first Arena Season will not be launched on Phase 1. You can probably get your blue gear, your blue PvP gear from Honor and stuff, just from doing BGs. And you might be able to stack up a bunch of Honor in Phase 1. We don't know how they're going to roll that out. So that's something like kind of TBD. But Phase 1 will have Karazhan, Gruul's Lair, and Magtheridon. So you're going to be in Tier 4 for Phase 1. Moving on, we're going to get Serpent Cavern and Tempest Keep for Arena Season 1. So Arena Season 1 will be in Phase 2. There we go. And then we have Highjaw and Black Temple next with Arena Season 2. Arena Season 2, if we see people early on getting Skull of Gul'dan on Warlocks, early on if we're seeing glaives on some rogues, that will absolutely change the meta, and those characters will dominate significantly. So we're going to see how that goes. Zolaman is Season 3. Another difference there. I think that happened originally. And then Season 4, Arena Season 4 will come out with Sunwell Plateau as Phase 5. So the smallest boost here is the ZA phase, but I would say be aware that Blizzard has become fluid, right? When we did Classic, Blizzard was fluid. They released BGs early. They released ZG early. So anticipate something similar potentially. ZA is not like the biggest content drop, right? So having Highjaw and BT drop at the same time, pretty big content drop. Having ZA drop, a little bit smaller of a content drop, although I would anticipate seeing potentially time gates mainly because of arena seasons and leaving those timed. But we might see some things happen early. I don't think we can rule it out completely that Arena Season 1 won't come out a little early. So just kind of be aware of that, guys. That's what I wanted to talk about the most. Things that have not been addressed yet, which may be addressed in the Q&A, are gold cap. Are we allowed to transfer over with full amounts of gold? If people are doing this 58 level boost, how are we going to stop bots and botters from just buying a 58 level boost and then just botting a bajillion characters? That's probably going to happen. Almost. I'm just going to be honest, guys. That's I don't see Blizzard stopping that, unfortunately. Hopefully they do, but we all know the meme of like subscriptions are money. Well, if people are paying for a boost, then Blizzard is making a ton of money off of them. They might ban, and then like they'll do ban waves. They've been pretty good at it, but I would be wary about trying to farm open world. I would assume, and this is something that wasn't confirmed yet, that we will see phasing as well in early on TBC, because there's no way we're even going to get through like the portal or get anything done unless you're obviously doing dungeon leveling early on, which could be capped at 30 dungeons a day. So dungeon leveling is probably your best bet if you're looking forward to that. I would start prepping for TBC, guys, which means buying all of the leatherworking mats you can get, because you are going to need leatherworking. There are some meme things going around basically saying that like leatherworking will be nerfed. Those are all kind of photoshops. There's also photoshops saying that world buffs will move on. That's also Photoshop. So if you're seeing stuff like that run around, always be wary and try to find the source. Blizzard is always the safest source. Blue Tracker is always really good because Wowhead drags directly from Blizzard. So other than that, those are like the biggest things. I want to pose a ton of the questions, but I don't really want to keep this video too long. So that is just covering everything. Next week, we will have a ton of videos as often as we can, as well as be covering this live on the stream. So good luck out there, guys. I am so excited for TBC to be launching. It is officially announced. We all knew it was coming, but I'll see you guys in the beta and on the next videos and in the stream. Have a good weekend. Catch you guys on the next one.